Hello, and welcome to this. What is the word to describe this show tonight, huh? A very bizarre episode of Monday Night Raw. Wow, where do I begin, huh? Especially after, 24 hours after the Clash of Champions pay-per-view. This was a very bizarre show of a lot of things would happen. You know, a couple returns here and there, which I feel like I know the reason for it. But, yeah, there's a lot of just bizarre things on this show tonight, because where were they? Knoxville, Tennessee. I will say, number one, this crowd was not good tonight, and they kind of sucked because they were dead throughout most of this show. They probably popped for a couple things, but holy crap, this crowd was like dead. And I'm gonna get to the parts where they were dead out there, but it was like cricket level dead out there, which I was wondering, like, somebody react to do something out here, okay? But where do we kick off the show in Monday Night Raw? We pretty much kick it off with Seth Rollins as he came out to talk about what happened last night at Clash of Champions. Talked about how he went against Braun Strowman, and he gave him a great match out there. But, you know, he pretty much says that, you know, yes, we lost the tag titles, but I still beat him with 4 curb stomps of the pedigree. So he thanks Strowman for putting on a great match, but he's not going to be facing him anytime soon. He's happy about that. But now his focus is now on the Fiend Bray Wyatt. There was a big yowie wowie chant from the crowd. A lot of people saying that Wyatt is pretty much more over than Seth right now, and that kind of clearly shows it. But Rollins pretty much says that he will face Wyatt in 3 weeks at Hell in a Cell for the Universal title. Next thing you know, we go to the Firefly Funhouse, which Wyatt showed up on the screen there with his sweater, Mr. Rogers version of him, pretty much calling Rollins his future best friend, and say he's super glad that he's okay. But next thing you know, the Rambling Rabbit shells up. Hey, man, Seth, you got to get out of here, man. It's a trick, man. Don't listen, man. Run. Just get out of here while you still can, man. Wyatt pretty much slammed the rabbit down like a mallet with his fist, and pretty much says that Rollins has made a lot of mistakes. And people have forgiven him because friends forgive, but the Fiend never forgets. Rollins pretty much says that I don't know what this is about, so why don't you just get out here? Wyatt pretty much then said that the Fiend, you know, that's why he attacked you at Clash of Champions. Okay? And that, you know, the Fiend pretty much said that he's going to have more to say to you tonight later on. Wyatt pretty much crossed his arms and looked into the camera. Of course, they kind of went in and out picture with the Fiend and his regular face until he started laughing, saying, "See you, Nil," and, you know, was gone after that. So, I will say it was a good promo from Wyatt. The crowd did react really well from him, and he was over. So, some say he was more over than Seth. I don't know what much you can take from that, and especially when now they got Bill in the Hell in the Cell, so we'll see what happens. Next thing you know, and I do believe this was a botch in general, which I'm sure Kevin Dunn and whoever's in the production truck are in a nightmare right now when this happened, or whoever's yelling at who in the back, whoever botched this. But old Bucktooth Beaver there, boy, couldn't control it. What do we get? We get upside down graphics of pretty much what's supposed to happen tonight. Renee Young was the only one to actually question it, since Cole and Graves, they kind of no-sold the whole thing. But I'm sitting there like, here we go, first botch of the night. Upside down graphics, and only one person noticed them finally. I don't know if it had everything to do with anything white. I just think that was just Kevin Dunn just screwing up stuff backstage as an idiot. So I'm sure whoever had that up had to be a production nightmare. But yeah, upside down graphics, first botch of the night. Braun Strowman was pretty much saying he was going to give someone these hands tonight. Someone's gonna get them. Next thing you know, they have a Tag Team Champions Summit, the new Tag Team Champions, which they are on this show in general, but they have the SmackDown titles. But the Revival and Rude and Ziggler came out. Rude pretty much said that, you know, they doubted us. This is the Tag Champions Summit, and you know, they never believed in us and everything. And pretty much, you know, no one can stop us. And he pretty much said that. Pretty much took a shot at Cole, saying he didn't know anything, because you think you know everything, and Rouge to talk about Michael Cole. So what happens next after that? Strowman just comes out and kills all the tag team champions out there. Just murders them. What a way to treat your new crown champions. What do? Have Braun Strowman kill them like they were idiots out there. Yes, one guy beat up 4 people out there that are now the new tag team champions of both shows. It just made them look like fucking shit out there, okay? And by the way, when Strowman was doing his little charge to the outside of the ring, you could clearly see Scott Dawson he wasn't even hit. It's like Strowman walked past him, and it's like he had to jump in the air to make himself look like he got hit. They only mentioned Wilder getting hit, but go back and look at it. Strowman just missed the whole thing, or I don't know how botched it was, but didn't even hit him. Like he just walked past him, and it's like Dawson had to jump in the air to make it look like something, but he clearly was not hit. Pretty much Rude headed for the hills then after that. But yeah, what a way to treat the new tag team champions. Let's make them look like freaking crap out there, okay, people? So there you go. Just buried, all right. Yeah, the tag team division doesn't mean shit, but next thing you know, the OC, who had a jobber's entrance with AJ and them already in the ring, which it's kind of odd even saying on AJ's part, to go against the Viking Raiders and Eric and Ivar. When these guys came out, well, pretty much when all of them came out, this crowd looked like they did not care about either team out there, and they were like crickets throughout this entire match, just dead, okay? Didn't even react for the entrances. Pretty much AJ Styles did get the phenomenal forearm on Cedric Alexander, so he was pinned again, by the way, too. But next thing you know, Styles starts stamping on Alexander. The Viking Raiders got involved. Next thing you know, Hanson does his big senton from the top rope, which he kind of clearly misses the whole thing, okay? He does hit it, but it didn't look like anyone broke his fall. He just, like, landed like just back first on the ground from that high of a feet on the turnbuckle, so it looked very painful, I will say that, because it looked like no one wasn't really catching him. He just hit the ground hard, okay? He hit the ground very hard. But next thing you know, Alexander, I guess he had AJ on the top rope. He was going to go late for a Hurricane Rana, but a Styles Clash happened to take down Cedric. So, yeah, Cedric beat up 2 nights in a row, loses a match and loses another match and gets beat up right after again. I am kind of surprised to see that happen again. Now, it could have been some 50-50 booking thing where Cedric gets his win back, but I'm sure people would have talked about that. I will say they kind of made AJ did look strong with him being the champ, taking down Cedric, not giving him any chance. But a lot of people question now, is Cedric Alexander being buried? I don't want to think that right now. I was just kind of surprised that he lost decisively again, and then he gets beat up again by AJ also. So I don't know if I want to say he was buried. Some people say this is a slow burn to just, you know, get people to care about Cedric until you know, he finally beats AJ Styles for the U.S. title. But now if something happens next week and they start mentioning it, then yeah, I'll just sit there and say the guy was buried then. But I am very surprised that they just kind of had him lose 2 nights in a row and get beat up 2 nights in a row too. So I thought that was kind of strange in my opinion. I don't know if the guy's losing his push or anything, but just I'm like, really now, huh? Okay. It's odd enough he gave it like barely a 5-minute match yesterday, but now it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna do a 6-man, no 50-50 booking, but hey, AJ goes over Cedric again, so I'm kind of very questionable about that. All right, I really am, just with the crowd. Like, once again, no, the crowd didn't care for this match in general too. Next thing you know, we go to R-Truth and Carmella at the Women's College Basketball Hall of Fame. Next thing you know, the mayor, formerly known as Kane, he is the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, and pretty much talked about the legendary Pat Summit here. Pretty much Truth said, don't I know you, ain't you Magic Johnson or Larry Bird? Pretty much said, it's me, Truth, it's Kane. And he says, you look like somebody I remember. He called him the president and anything. So yes, Kane, who probably had the biggest pop throughout most of this entire show, every time he showed up on the screen tonight, was more over than anybody. So yes, the mayor, formerly known as Kane, Glenn Jacobs, was on here tonight. Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable, or the waiter versus Shorty G out there in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. Why didn't they save this? I would have thought this would have been probably the main event or in the final part, most of the end of the show, not in the first hour of the show still, but this was the best match out of this entire night, and this was a great final for this tournament. Now I will say this, I am not surprised Corbin won. Did I really believe Chad Gable was going to win this match in general? Not really. From a small little percentage, maybe when he had that ankle lock. But I said this since the beginning of this tournament. Do not be surprised if Baron Corbin wins this whole thing. And boom, there you go. He has now won the entire tournament. Okay? Now, I think this was a great match. Number one. This was very great. These guys were going in out there. Crowd did get into it, and they really did believe in Gable like he was going to win, though, once he had the ankle lock in, even also doing that Chaos Theory German suplex. But I did like the finish, though. Gable trying to run it back into Corbin, almost like people say it was like their finish back at the Dusty Classic back in NXT a few years ago. It was like almost like a tilt-a-whirl look like into an End of Days for the win. So yeah, Corbin got the win in and becoming the new King of the Ring winner. You know, Gable, they kind of showed sad as Corbin was on the ramp, pretty much, you know, looking at the crown and the robe and everything, which he will have his official coronation tomorrow night. But you know, he is the king now, I guess. What does he win out? Else does he win out of this? I don't know. Why this company pushes Corbin to the moon, I have literally no clue to this point. But they just love this guy for some odd reason. But they keep pushing him. But listen, I'm not really surprised he won this tournament, though. But I think both of these guys put on a great match that nearly went 20 minutes out there. You know, overall, I've enjoyed this entire King of the Ring tournament since the beginning. Don't get me wrong. It's been a lot of screwy stuff like that whole triple threat match thing. And Shane McMahon and, you know, upset wins. I'm sure a lot of people are mad about whoever won in these brackets and stuff. But this was a great match to end the tournament on, though. I will say that. So this was the best match out of the night. I thought this would have been more of the main event. But this was great. And I really did enjoy it. So at least they did finish on a strong note to end this entire King of the Ring tournament, though. But like I said, did anybody really believe Chad Gable was going to win, though, to be honest? Because most of the time throughout this whole tournament, all they did was make short jokes about him, okay? That's all it really was short jokes about Gable. So, yeah, Shorty G there most of the time. But at least he won some fans over the night, and they were on his side at points in time throughout this night. So at least that's something to look up upon. But yeah, Corbin wins and is now the 2019 King of the Ring winner. Hopefully they do. I'm sure they will do another King of the Ring tournament again. Like I said, I don't think this was bad. It just got more screwy in the end, though. Next, the gender reveal party. Okay. With the Street Profits hosting for Maria. Now, I'm going to say this right here. Some of you are going to like this. Some of you are going to hate this whole segment. Personally, I think this is going to be dumb throughout this whole thing. But man, did I laugh at a lot of this stuff right here. Because number one, Maria came in to announce the gender of her baby. Why is this even a thing on the show? But it was going to be a boy. Mike Bennett was congratulated by everybody in the back. But Maria says we all know who the father is. And then it was Ricochet, which everyone looked shocked in. Which I'm sitting there wondering, Ricochet hit that? I'm like, okay, which he looked very confused, saying like obviously she's lying. Mike Bennett or Kanellis was pissed. He slapped Ricochet in. Titus said, you better go out there and do something about that, man. This man just slapped you and you impregnated his wife. What's up with that? And, you know, I just love the Street Profits reaction. I not think they did the new Craig and Smokey from Friday, especially when they did the damn part they did there. But, you know, Angelo Dawkins, you know, he went on to say, you know, she was going to say I was going to be the father. At first, it's like, man, you can't do that. Why they have a baby on a pole match? But the Dawkins says, how about Maria on a pole match? Maria on a pole? Oh, yeah, Maria on a pole match. Because that's how they got to this to begin with. Because they both been in that. Oh, man, that was funny. Even Titus, man. Titus, he was like John Witherspoon Friday, like, or Boondocks, like, bang, 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 bang. And I go, bang, 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 up his ass. Like, you go, bang, 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 bang. I thought that was funny. Okay, that stuff with the Street Profits, that made me laugh there. I will say that. When they kind of hit with that Maria on a pole match, that was hilarious. Okay, I know people are going to start hating on the Street Profits. And don't get me wrong, I've hated some of these segments they did because I don't understand it. But this one I thought was funny. Okay, I don't give a crap about. I know this was a waste of time, and this clearly tells me they have nothing for Ricochet right now if they're doing stuff like this, saying, oh, he hit that and got her pregnant, huh? Okay, but then, like, you know, just the Street Profits with that Maria on a pole thing was just, that was gold, man. They both, that's how they got this to begin with. They both been in that. Oh, man, I thought that was funny. Okay, I thought it was funny. But then next thing you know, Ricochet goes against Mike Bennett. Ricochet wins. He looked like he didn't even want to do this match. But by God, they have nothing for this guy right now. It's just since he's doing this. So he's got nothing for him. Ricochet wins. They then went to Wyatt, who pretty much showed this picture of his wall of friendship of all of the people he's kind of either beaten or, you know, did his little, you know, mandible claw thing like Finn Balor and Kurt Angle and, you know, Lawler or any other legend that's on the list. But then what happens? We come back from commercial. Maria is pretty much looking at Mike Bennett then as he's sad. Maria says, listen, I knew you were going to take the bait. Ricochet's not the father, and this is just to motivate you, but she says, the man that's going to, enough to defend the honor of this child, the man who impregnated me, who's going to the father of this unborn child. Next thing you know, Rusev's music hits, which I'm very surprised to see Rusev back in general. Okay, number one, it's nice to see Rusev, a very clean-shaven Rusev with a mustache now. Some people say the guy looks like Freddie Mercury out there, or like the new Bobby Roode, or Rustache now, or Rustache, or the Machka Mustache, as some people are putting that. And don't get me wrong, Rusev looked more jacked to the freaking gills out there. But one thing Renee Young did say even before this, like Mike Bennett's getting beat up by his baby daddy, which is Ricochet. I thought that was funny. But so now what Rusev comes out, and Mike pretty much says, now hold on, let's having a bad day, but hey, if you want it, you can keep her. Pretty much almost saying like, hey man, you hit that, hey, it's your kid then, you can keep her. And just congratulate him. Rusev just kept getting his way, start throwing him around the barricade and stuff, which Rusev did win with his little kick, that super kick, that big thrust kick he does, and the accolade for the win. Now, listen, here's the thing that don't make, listen, this whole segment makes no sense, because it just went all over the place, where I'm just very confused from, oh, Ricochet hit that, and then we're doing a gender reveal and Street Profits, and now Rusev is back into just, which I'm wondering why they even brought him back for this now. Listen, I'm glad Rusev's back and everything, and they finally found something for him since they killed Rusev Day, but the fact that you're going to expect me to believe that he banged Maria and got her pregnant, which we already know Rusev is married to Lana, so where is this going? I'm serious. Where is any of this going, okay? I wish they could have saved Rusev for maybe something bigger than this, like a little bit more higher up in the level, because right now it's almost like, I don't want to say Rusev's back at job status again, but he's dealing with jobbers. That's all he looks like he's now dealing with, because that's basically what Mike Bennett is a freaking jobber out there. So I'm happy to see the guy back, but is this the way you really want to have this guy back? I don't know, because with all these people bringing back now, I think it has to do, some people say the draft, and I'm getting into the next return later on, but if it's one, I will say one thing, no, with Rusev, it's an effect going on. And you know what, I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but I don't know, man, the Rusev thing is just very, very confusing, okay? And trust me, Mike Bennett's going to get buried around commentary most of the night anyways after this, and he was, but yeah, I don't know, just a strange way to bring Rusev back. They then went back to Kane and Truth as they were at the University of Tennessee football stadium. Pretty much, Kane brought in this cop that was sworn in. Pretty much says, oh, you a cop, huh? You a RoboCop or a good cop? Or just a regular cop? But Kane says, listen, he's not just a cop. He's not even a cop. He's a referee. Truth says, I know what this is. So he's like, see you later. What does he do? He runs into the goalpost. Kane wins the 24/7 title. People pop for it. He even said, I still got it, and walked off. So the mayor, formerly known as Kane, wins the 24/7 title and walks off with it after Truth ran into a pole. So there you go from that. Kane wins. Rey Mysterio went against Cesaro. Cesaro pretty much came on the mic, said Dominic shows out, he's going to beat the hell out of him, like he's going to beat the hell out of, Rey right now. I don't know if Cesaro forgot his wrestling gear, but is this his new gear? Because he came out with, somebody told me, basically a tracksuit. He didn't really have any wrestling boots. He just had some regular gym shoes on, and like just these like short sweatpants, it looked like, or track pants, and just he was there for a track meet or something. That's what he dressed He was in a tracksuit, and he wrestled in that. So I don't know what was up with Cesaro's gear, but I just kind of thought that was strange. Listen, this match wasn't bad or anything. I did like the finish. Rey hit a 619. Cesaro caught him, and then Rey flipped him into like a code red. I was about to say Canadian Destroyer, but a code red then. But it was a good match with Cesaro and Rey. I'm not discrediting that, but I don't know where that was going. I just thought it was kind of weird that Cesaro's gear, I was like, did this guy leave his gear or something? Because I don't know what was going on with that. Just kind of strange to me. Of course, then we went back to Bray Wyatt, who had Seth Rollins on his wall of friendship with X's over Seth Rollins' eyes. Next thing you know, since they were talking about the draft again, and Cole did, and this has been confirmed now, there won't be any more wild card rule, which they don't even mention anymore, and everybody just shows up on anybody's shows anyway. They showed a video package for Authors of Pain, surprisingly. And this was different. Because who is AOP? Akam and Razor, they were pretty much sitting. There was like some music playing in the background, but they had some suits on, and they spoke in a different language and had subtitles. I believe they're Greek, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really know what language they were speaking, but somebody told me it was Greek, I believe. Please, somebody inform me what language they were speaking. But they had subtitles and pretty much said that they have not had a match since before WrestleMania, I believe, because no one hasn't seen them. And they said they are fighters who get paid to fight, but everyone complains that they're hurting them in the ring, that they couldn't make a living in MMA because no one wanted to fight them. So they said that they were in WWE because no one wanted to fight them in MMA, because that's why they came here. And he said that the WWE teams are soft right now, and that none of them aren't hard enough to fight them. So they said this is a warning, and that they are the future of the tag team division. Listen, I am intrigued by this. This is probably the best that AOP has looked in forever, if you ask me, ever since they've been on the main roster. It was something new. It was something different. I believe this will give them a fresh start. I was just surprised to see them in general, because the last time I really remember was one of them got hurt and they were running around with Rockstar Spud and everything. Now, I do like the sit-down interview aspect and them speaking in a different language. It I thought it made them look a little bit more legit, if you ask me out there. But, because, listen, Authors of Pain, I don't really think they were that good on the mic before anyway, especially when they were speaking in English, and that kind of showed in the past as a reason why they had Paul Ellering with them on NXT, because I thought both of these guys could not talk to save their life. But we're now them doing a sit-down interview style type of, promo. I am intrigued to see what happens to them, so at least we know they still exist. Now, I do believe a lot of these returns we've been seeing in the past 24 hours, I do believe, is that, number one, we know none of these guys are being used. None of them. That they've just been sitting in the back forever. Like Luke Harper, Rusev, and now the Authors of Pain. And I'm sure, like some people said, it's like the AEW effect. WWE is not going to let these guys go, and they'll probably add another 6 months to their contract or whatever how that goes, because they know if they go over there, they know it's going to go better for them over there. So it's like, let's keep holding on. It's like I've said about Luke Harper before, and then, hey, he now happens to be back now, and hey, Rusev's back, and now Authors of Pain are back. Which, now it looks like they want to push them because, like, oh, no, we got to compete with AEW or whatever. We can't have them going over there. So you now want to use these guys out of the blue. But I am intrigued by whatever Authors of Pain got going on right now. So let's give this time. I know some people say this is going to fail already. Don't get me wrong, WWE fails at stuff like this all the time and ends up messing up. But let's give this a chance. Let's see where this goes. If it sucks, I'll say it sucks. But let's see what we're going to ride out with this first. Next, Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. My question is, who is the heel throughout this match? I want to know. Because I said Sasha and Bayley are faces by default, because aren't Bliss and Nikki Cross heels? And, Bliss can't finish a match out there, by the way. So, what do? They have Bayley hurt her knee, and then next thing you know, they have trainers come out, and you never saw her for the rest of the match, proving that Bliss is just worthless out there. That's why I just kind of looked at Sasha and Bayley as the face, because I don't give two craps about Alexa Bliss, so that's why I looked at them as faces by default out there, okay? But I guess they have to have Nikki work the entire match, and since Bliss is not good enough to do it, so they have Nikki Cross do the whole thing to get some type of face, I guess, sympathy it looked like. But I don't know, Cross like did a DDT. She did that whole apron thing on Sasha, which like she was there forever. Sasha did come back in, hit a backstabber and a bank statement for the win. So she pretty much had Nikki Cross tap out. Next thing you know, Sasha got a chair in the ring, was gonna hit Nikki Cross with it. Becky's music hit, which was probably the only thing that was the biggest pop, was when people chanted for Becky, because throughout this entire women's tag match, once again, this crowd was so dead that no one cared. But Bayley got back in the ring with a steel chair after, Becky and Sasha started using the chairs like swords in a duel. Charlotte's music hit, and this looked very awkward, by the way, because Bayley ran towards Charlotte with the chair, but Charlotte, like, she had to dress the big, address her footing, because she's in heels and she's running towards the ring, so it's almost like she had to somewhat stop and hit that big boot just to time it right, since you in heels trying to, run and then do a big boot on a chair, knocking Bayley down. Then Charlotte looked on. Next thing you know, Sasha pretty much tried to swing the chair at Becky. Becky ducked, pretty much knocked Sasha in the gut, then taking her out. So one thing I will say from this is this. Number one, I'm most likely it's good. All these women are going to be at Hell in a Cell. I'm sure a lot of people saying that this now just pretty much kind of reverts all back to the Four Horsewomen, because the tag team titles already crap, the women's tag title, so I don't even need to get into that whole thing. And I just find it hilarious that they've done this whole Bliss can't finish the match again, she can't finish the match again, so what was the point of having her out there? Like I said, I just kind of looked at Sasha and Bayley as the faces by default. I just think this whole thing is confusing, who is the faces, who in the heels on this. At least Becky we know is the face out of this, because people are going to cheer her, but I don't know, man. It's just like when that tag match happened, I think the crowd was a little bit more on Sasha and Bayley's side throughout that entire time. But these chair shots is just kind of looking bad. I will say that too. With all the Four Horsewomen, it just looks bad on some points, especially last night with that one to the elbow on the referee. But they went back to Sasha, pretty much saying she challenges Becky at Hell in a Cell. It ain't Hell in a Cell match for the title, and pretty much says your move, bitch. Becky did respond, pretty much says, I like going to war with you, so if you're interested, I'm going to destroy you at Hell in a Cell. They then went back to Kane arriving to the arena with the 24/7 title limo. Truth was on top of the limo, which he got down and pretty much pinned Truth. Kane grabbed him, but he says, listen, man, it's just the nature of the 24/7 title. He gets it, but hey, we're here on Raw, so let's have a good time. Lacey Evans versus Dana Brooke. I do not give two craps. I need to go finish watching New Japan after this review anyways. Because I thought Suzuki tearing off Jushin Thunder Liger's mask was more interesting than this. But hey, Dana Brooke's got TV time though, at least. But what do they have to do? They have Lacey Evans do a sharpshooter on Dana Brooke after her woman's right. Pretty much, I guess, still going after Natalya. It's like somebody saying this feud is still going on. Yeah, even after 50-50 booking, it's still going on. Do I care? No, I don't. So, moving on to the next thing. Seth Rollins came out to go against Bobby Roode or Robert Roode. One-on-one. This match was good. Seth did end up hitting another buckle bomb, a super kick, and then the curb stomp. He went for the pin, but Ziggler ran out. DQ finish. Next thing you know, the OC comes out and jumps Seth Rollins in. 5-on-1, Magic Killer, Styles Clash. They pretty much pick him back up and they start beating the crap out of Seth Rollins, and then a super kick by Ziggler. Next thing you know, Kane's music hits. If this was Pyro, it probably would have looked more epic, but hey, WWE doesn't want to pay for Pyro, so Kane's entrance is very lame without it. But Kane came out in full gear. The crowd popped big time for him. Kane is just beating out everybody out, just knocking Roode and Ziggler all over the place. One-handed choke slam on Gallows, double choke slam on Anderson and AJ Styles then, and stuff. They're pretty much making three champions look bad out there, the US and the tag champions, and the OC gets killed again by another team, or just gets killed by anybody this week and next week, just making them look bad. So yes, Kane killed 5 people on his own. He went for his pyro thing, which would have never happened anyway because there is no pyro, but the lights came out, and once I kind of figured out, like, watch Bray Wyatt come out. He stood behind Kane because he looked on. He did his little mandible claw thing, which I don't know how well the crowd reacted to that, because like I said before, this crowd has been dead throughout the entire night. He released Kane. Kane rolled out of the ring. Rollins, he pretty much crawled over to Rollins, looked at him, and then as they usually end with the graphic, but after the graphic end, they showed the Firefly Funhouse video graphic in a very distorted music, weird, going upside down, back and forth, almost playing for 2 minutes, even 1 minute after Monday Night Raw when the show ends. So it's like they kept that music playing out there to do something with it. But I will say this. I did like the ending. Like I said, Kane was probably the biggest thing out of the whole night who got pops out there. It's because he's the mayor, so we got to make the mayor look strong as ever. The mayor formerly known as Kane. And they popped big time when he came out. Would have been more epic with pyro, but hey, that'll be cheap for pyro. But overall, this show was just strange. The only thing that was really mostly watchable throughout this was the Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt and Seth that's going on, and the ending with Bray, or the King of the Ring Finals tournament. And I'll say this right here, it's going to be an unpopular opinion. I know no one's going to like it, but I kind of enjoyed the whole Maria, you know, gender reveal, mostly because I thought the Street Profits were hilarious out there, but it just got too strange at the same time, too. It was a little entertaining, but when Ricochet is getting involved, proving that you have nothing for this guy, and then Rusev just pops back out of nowhere, and then, you know, the Authors of Pain have returned also. So I don't even know where that's going. The Rusev one is more kind of weird if you ask me, because why is he involved in this now? You just put him with job guys now. You expect me to believe that he banged Marie and got her pregnant, which is not true. So I don't know where that's gonna go. Like I said, the guy's back and he looks great, but where is this going with him? Authors of Pain, like I said, I'm already intrigued at least where they're going with this. But like I kind of said before, it's that AEW effect going on. They don't want nobody going nowhere. They got to bring everybody back because, the draft is coming. We got to make this stuff look good as possible, okay? Women's tag match, I did not really care about. Bliss can just fuck off all I care. Even just being out of the match. But, you know, chair war, even though they're supposed to be a Hell in a Cell, but almost like they're setting up for a chairs match. It looks like an Hell in a Cell match, but it's coming anyways. But Knoxville, Tennessee, the crowd was just very dead throughout a lot of this show. They were just like crickets out there and everything. I'm still not sure about the whole Cedric Alexander thing. Like I said, I'm a little very iffy on that. I'm not saying he's buried, just kind of what I've seen, but I do kind of question it at the same time, no. What else was really on here? Evans and Natalya don't care. The 24/7 thing with Kane was at least kind of funny, I will say that. No, I think that's everything I could think of off of this show, to be honest. So that's really as much as I can pull, unless I'm missing something. I think I mentioned everything. You know, U.S. title, Universal, tag, women. Yeah, I think I get everything I need to get throughout this review, but I don't know, man. Just a very bizarre episode of Monday Night Raw. Just strange, I will say that. Just things that made no sense on there and just didn't really need to be on the show in general, but it did anyways. But I've already told you my good parts of what I thought about Monday Night Raw tonight. That was at least entertaining, or just good in general, because a lot of it was just mostly the same typical Raw that was just a bunch of bullshit out there and crap most of the time. So, but hey, that's Monday Night Raw for you. So, but I don't know, we got a draft coming, so we'll see what happens from that. But yeah, that's the show though. That's all I can really say from it. But other than that, I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about Monday Night Raw. Check out my review of Clash of Champions from last night. It is uploaded right now. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'm going to roll from here. So there you go. If you enjoyed this very bizarre show of Monday Night Raw, just, I don't know, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you really think about this show, okay? Or did you just like it in general, or did you just hate Monday Night Raw because it's just whatever was going on in this show? Just a lot of odd decision making on here, I will say that. So we'll see what happens, but hey, at least we saw some type of returns tonight, but we'll see what happens. But I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.